The ocean before time. Long before the first human city rose from the dust, before steel touched salt, the ocean was a kingdom unto itself. Its people were not men, but voices, songs made flesh. They were the sirens, daughters of the deep, born from the breath of creation, keepers of the ancient harmony that bound sea and sky together. The camera sweeps over a glowing blue world. No continents yet, only swirling seas under endless stars. Luminous beings swim beneath the waves, ethereal, half light, half flesh. Their voices form ripples of music that shape coral, currents, and life itself. The sirens sang the world into rhythm. Their melody held the balance between life and silence. But balance never lasts. For where beauty exists, envy soon follows. The world of the sirens. The ocean kingdom of Thalassaria stretched beneath 1,000,000 miles of water. Towers of pearl, forests of sea glass, creatures of impossible grace. In its heart stood the queen of tides, Seraphina, the first siren, a being whose voice could calm storms or summon them. Seraphina sings an ethereal vocal underscoring. Under her rule, the sirens guarded the boundary between the mortal world above and the eternal depths below. No human yet dared cross their realm. No ship yet cut the sea. But even in paradise, change stirs. Deep in the cold trenches, something ancient awoke, the shadow current, a darkness born when forgotten gods fell into the abyss. It whispered to the youngest sirens, sowing restlessness. "Why serve mortals who cannot hear you?" the current asked. "Why hide in silence when the world above could worship your song?" And thus began the first desire, the wish to be heard. Above, time passed, the age of mortals began. Islands rose, empires of stone grew along shining coasts. Human voices filled the air. But their songs were clumsy, broken echoes of what the sirens once sang. To the sirens, mankind's noise was an insult, a mimicry of perfection. To the youngest among them, it was an invitation. Among these restless souls was Lyria, the youngest siren, golden-haired and curious. She often swam close to the surface, listening to fishermen sing. She pitied them, small, fragile, doomed to drown, yet their courage fascinated her. One night she rose too far. A fisherman saw her reflected in moonlight, and the first human word for mermaid was born. "Mermaid," he whispered, "maiden of the sea." That name spread like fire, carried by sailors across the world. And with it, so did the hunger of mankind, to find them, catch them, own them. Ships multiplied, nets dragged across reefs, harpoons flashed through the surf. At first, sirens hid, but when one of their kind, Calla, sister to Queen Seraphina, was slain and hung upon a mast, the sea itself rebelled. Storms erupted for 7 days. Whirlpools swallowed fleets whole. The survivors spoke of music rising from the waves, sorrowful, endless, vengeful. Thus began the first invasion, not of men upon the sea, but of the sea upon men. The sirens attacked at night. Their songs lured sailors into fog and foam. Ships turned against their own crews. The water became a graveyard of masts and memory. And so humans learned to fear the song. They called it the curse of the deep, the war of voices. But fear did not stop them. Where superstition ends, ambition begins. Kings sought to conquer the ocean. Priests declared the sirens demons. Empires built iron fleets, forged from meteoric ore that could resist magic. Thus began the war of voices, the first true battle between land and sea. An armada sails under storm clouds. Beneath them, glowing sirens glide through the dark, eyes burning with sorrow and fury. For the first time, the ocean trembled with the thunder of cannons. For the first time, siren blood stained the waves red, The humans sang back, war chants, drums, hymns of defiance, hoping noise could drown magic. And sometimes it worked. The sirens faltered. Each death dimmed their collective song, weakening the harmony that bound the seas. The fall of Thalassara. The war raged for centuries, though time flowed differently beneath the sea. Each battle pushed the sirens deeper into hiding. Their great cities fell silent. The coral towers cracked, the ocean darkened, poisoned by iron and fire. Queen Seraphina, heartbroken, called upon the gods for aid. But the gods of the sea were gone, slain or sleeping. Only one answered, the shadow current. "Give me your voice," it hissed, "and I shall silence theirs forever." She refused. But her daughter Lyria, desperate to save her people, made the bargain in secret. The darkness accepted. Her voice changed, no longer a song of beauty, but of despair. In seeking to save her kind, Lyria doomed them all. For her scream cracked the ocean's balance. Tidal waves struck the coasts, cities drowned, volcanoes beneath the sea erupted. The war of voices ended in apocalypse, and both worlds fell silent. When the storms finally ceased, few sirens remained. Thalassara was gone, buried beneath leagues of sand and ruin. The survivors scattered across the oceans, weak and voiceless. Mankind too was scarred, entire coastlines vanished. Legends replaced memory. The word siren became myth. The word mermaid became fantasy. But myths are memories that refuse to die. Generations later, sailors still swore they saw glowing shapes beneath the waves, heard songs through the fog, echoes of an ancient war. And in the deepest trenches, the last siren still lived. Her name was Lyria, the cursed daughter who once unleashed ruin. She wandered alone through the ruins of Thalassara, broken statues, silent gardens, shadows of the past. Her once golden hair now glowed silver. Her voice, sealed by guilt, had not been heard for 1,000 years. She was the last memory of an extinct race, and yet even silence can become a song. One night she surfaced near a modern shore, a city of glass and light, replacing the old kingdoms. Humans no longer feared the sea. They built upon it, sailed through it, polluted it. Lyria watched from the shadows, invisible. She saw children play where her people had once drowned their enemies. She felt anger, but also wonder. For the first time, she saw mankind not as monsters, but as survivors. But the shadow current had not forgotten her. It whispered again, rising from the abyss. "The world has forgotten your kind. Let me remind them, sing and they will kneel." And for the first time in a millennium, Lyria sang. The ocean responded. Whirlpools formed. The moon dimmed. Across the globe, coastal waters began to glow with spectral light. Sirens, long thought dead, rose from the deep, spirits of their former selves drawn by Lyria's voice. They emerged in every ocean, Mediterranean, Pacific, Atlantic, haunting ports, dragging ships into black water. Mankind had forgotten its ancient war, but the sea never forgets. The world called it the Siren Invasion. Waves of supernatural attacks, fleets disappearing, people vanishing near shorelines. News cameras caught glimpses of luminous shapes in the surf, eyes that reflected lightning, hair flowing like silk through stormwater. Governments sent navies. Religions called it judgment. Scientists called it impossible. And in the center of it all, Lyria, standing on a reef of bone, commanding the ocean with sorrow in her eyes. Humanity united for the first time in history, not for power, but for survival. They created a coalition called Project Trident, led by Admiral Ria Torres, a descendant of ancient sailors who still kept the old legends. Rhea studied the myths, searching for the one weakness sirens had. Their song feeds on emotion. She realized that to defeat them, humanity couldn't fight with weapons, but with silence. They can't draw power from what we don't feel, she told the world. We must not listen. Not with our ears, not with our hearts. Broadcast stations played white noise across oceans. Fleets used sound-dampening technology. For a time, it worked. But the shadow current adapted, twisting Lyria's voice into pure energy, creating waves that shattered ships even in silence. The war reached its final stage. Beneath the North Atlantic, in the ruins of Thalasara, Admiral Rhea led a final expedition to confront Lyria. The two met, human and siren, beneath the ocean's ceiling of light. "Why are you doing this? Haven't enough died? You destroyed us. You burned our voices. I am what you made me. No, you became what the darkness wanted, but you can end it." For the first time, the last siren hesitated. The shadow current rose, a colossal vortex of black water, screaming voices of the dead. It demanded her final song, the one that would drown the world. But within her, something broke. Memories of her mother's gentle lullabies returned, the laughter of her sisters, the beauty that once was. "I remember now what the sea was meant to be." She turned her song inward, not out to destroy, but in to purify. Her voice became a note so pure it shattered the darkness itself. The shadow current imploded, dragging itself into eternal silence. The explosion created a radiant sphere of light that lit the ocean for 3 days. When it faded, both Lyria and the abyss were gone. The siren invasion ended overnight. The oceans calmed. Ships that had vanished were found adrift, crews asleep but alive. No trace of Lyria was ever found, only a faint hum resonating through the water like the echo of a heartbeat. Some said she became the sea itself. Others said she ascended beyond mortal understanding. But to those who listened closely, the waves still whispered her name. Rhea retired in silence, never speaking of what she saw beneath the waves. The world moved on, rebuilding, forgetting. But every few generations, sailors still report hearing a single note at dawn. Not dangerous, not sorrowful, but beautiful. And when they do, the sea glows faintly silver, as if remembering her. The legend lives. The story of the sirens is not merely one of monsters or myths. It is the tale of longing, the longing to be seen, to be heard, to matter. In the end, both humans and sirens sought the same thing: connection. And though the last siren's voice has faded, her song remains, carried in the rhythm of tides, in the crash of every wave, in the silence between storms. When you stand by the ocean and hear the faint hum of the sea, remember, it is not the wind you hear, it is history singing, the memory of the last siren. Soft siren, hum underscoring the final lines.